working in Citi's favor, and did you add to your holdings on the news?
Yeah, it presently represents the largest holding in the Invesco Comstock Fund, so we did not add to the holding yesterday. But what I would say is that the principle, if we had to isolate it to one issue, which there are many positive issues regarding Citigroup stock, but the one primary issue is the amount of excess capital that Citi has been able to generate over the last 4 years since the crisis, to the point where they will be able to give a lot of this money, if you look out over the next 3 to 5 years, back to shareholders. And we have it estimated at about 55–54% of the market cap over the new SIFI standards that they'll be able to return to shareholders as we move out to 2015, 2016.
So how quickly would we see those dividend payments?
Yeah, I think that's key, because last year Citibank, in the CCAR process, which is the review by the Fed, was not allowed to return capital. And I think last year it was kind of a learning process for a lot of banks, but Citi in particular. So I think this year what you're going to see, and it's going to be a gradual progression, particularly for a Citibank or a Bank of America, maybe the banks that had some of the more severe issues in 2008. Because even though they have the excess capital now, the federal government wants to make sure, the Fed really wants to make sure that that's sustainable. So I would look for a small dividend increase as we move into 2013 in a larger share buyback. But really, the large-scale buyback and dividend increases we look to happen in 2014 and 15, but we view 2013 as a big signpost for the market to gain confidence that Citi will be able to return this excess capital to shareholders.
Kevin, where do you think this stock should be trading right now?
Yeah, it's an interesting analysis, and we look at tangible book value, which is really kind of a litmus test for liquidation. If you liquidated Citibank today or Citigroup today, what would you get? And that value is around $55, and the stock is trading at 36. So we're about 65% of tangible book value, which says the market thinks there's some inefficiencies within this company that need to be addressed, which is why yesterday's announcement was so important. So we think as you move forward, and your earnings go from a mid $3 range to a mid $4 range to as high as $6 in 2015, we think you move up to that tangible book value range, which is 55 and will probably be 60 at that point in time. So we think a minimum fair value for this stock is $60, and we think the side of the story we haven't discussed, which is Citi Holdings, which are some of the bad mortgage assets primarily that are left over from the 2008 crisis. Those wind down or really pay off over a 5 to 7 year period. That is additionally going to enhance the earnings even more and the return on equity. So, I mean, ultimately, I think this stock can hit $75 over the next 3 to 4 years. I think over the next 1 to 2 years, I think 55 to 60 is realistic.